I gotta sew, but like, how you supposed to sew when the cat wants to snuggle? You can't.
I'm a monster. I'm a monster.
So, I actually got a decent amount of Jyn's shirt done yesterday. I got it all cut out, and I got the base part put together, and I started working on the pieces for her collar. So it's actually going pretty well. The instructions have been not the clearest, but I'm getting there. I literally took no footage yesterday. But yeah, we're gonna finish this today. I have to iron the collar pieces and top stitch them and then sew them together. These are my instructions for the shirt, and it's not very clear because for some reason they didn't label like the shirt A and B and then like the pants C and vest D or vest whatever. It's literally all... I don't think you can tell because my camera won't focus and there's a lawnmower outside. Everything is A or B, which makes reading these instructions absolute hell because it's like A or B, and I'm like, A or B what? A or B what? But yeah, this little cluster is what I'm working with. Okay, so like this is what I was talking about with like it being a little confusing. So I have to put these together here, along this side, this bottom part here, and sew it, just here at the bottom, I think. It doesn't say on step 11 to sew up the side here, because there's a gap, but there's this weird color notching. I don't think it's showing up on my camera very clearly, but right in the middle of where these two overlap, there's a strip about this wide where for some reason the line on the pattern paper is thicker, which would indicate stitches. But there's no instructions in this section that says to stitch this part of the flap. So, I don't know. I don't know. Part of what is taking so long is, can you see this? Let me turn the light off. It's worse. You can't see it. Alright. Well, I'm trying to sew this on, and I'm having such a problem with this thread. It keeps, like, look, it's like bunching and shredding into fibers as I sew. So, like, it's not breaking. The thread isn't snapping or breaking. It's just literally, like, unraveling and disintegrating. And I don't know if it's the thread. I don't know if it's the fabric. I don't know if it's the fact that I am refusing to do a zigzag stitch on this stretchy fabric. It's probably not that, because I've done this before, because I'm a savage, but it's just this thread is awful, and it makes me so frustrated to have to keep stopping and re-threading, and then backing up to where my thread was before I had to stop, and just... At least I'm on the sleeves, you know? At least I'm on the sleeves. I decided, with only one sleeve, 2 cuffs and a hem to go, that I'm not going to use this shirt. I know, Bird, I know. I don't like the color, and I'm not happy with the fabric. I'm not happy with how heavy it is. It doesn't drape right at the collar. The collar stands up way too high and stiff. And I'm not happy with it. It's going to be way too hot. I'll get heat stroke wearing it, so I'm not going to use this shirt for Jyn. I'm just really frustrated with this shirt. because I'm just really frustrated with this costume in general. Like, it seems so simple, and yet it's taking so long. Why are Star Wars costumes like this? Can you hear those birds? They're so loud. Anyway, so I went to Joann's with my stepmother and my sister, and we found this linen fabric. It's like a much better weight. It's gonna have the effect I want, I think, with the collar, and it'll be so much cooler to wear. I won't start sweating instantly the second I put it on like I do with the other shirt. But yeah, they didn't have the color I wanted. They either had a way too gray or a way too blue. To mostly use this denim and try to darken it with the royal blue to hopefully get the color I want, and then I just have the color stay. So I'm gonna go downstairs and get the dye pot out and work on that today. This will be the first time dyeing just straight fabric for me. Every other time I've dyed something, I've just been dyeing pre-made garments. So this will be a little bit of an experience. My dye pot, it is a old crab pot, and it's huge and doesn't fit in the sink. I just do this forever. And then I dump the kettle water in. And I know I'm just, like, talking into the void at this point, and nobody's actually really listening, but I watch a lot of DIY videos and sewing videos, and people don't talk about the fact that you have to designate a dye pot. Like, this is my dye pot. No food ever goes in here. Like, once you use a pot for dye, you can't use it for cooking anymore. And I just don't see a lot of people tell you that on, like, these DIY dip dye your jeans ombre videos, or so even other cosplay videos about, like, dyeing fabric for cosplay. Like, you cannot use this for food once you've done this. Okay? Okay, cool. So to try to get the steely blue color I want, I'm going to use the majority of this denim blue, and then mix in a little bitty bit of the royal blue to kind of darken it up. Alright, this is what we have to work with. It's a little spotty in some places because it was, you know, 2 yards of fabric shoved into a pot, but that's what we've got. So it's down here now, drying in my basement. It's really kind of dark down here because it's a basement, so you can't tell exactly the colors. I tried to wring it out as best I could, but it was big, so parts of it are like literally sopping wet. Here's where you can see a patch that was like folded in on itself, so the dye just didn't take. But it's fine. I'll just strategically cut all my pieces out. I'm gonna let it dry and then see what color it turns out once it's, like, you know, not saturated and full of water, because being full of water always makes fabric look darker. That'll do, pig, that'll do. Okay, so the fabric for Jyn's shirt is gonna take, like, another day to dry, because I really don't want to put it in the dryer in case there is still a little bit of ink leakage. So I'm gonna work on her pants. Her pants are mostly plain except for the bottom, which has a little belted strip up at the top here, and then a pleated panel on each leg, and they're symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is I put the pants on, and I measured, so this is like right where my knee is, so this will be where the strip will go, and I'll make it about, ooh, stay there, I'll make it, it's about 1.5 inches wide, and it'll go around the leg halfway, and then there's going to be a clip and some, like, flat bound, like some brown flat webbing that I have to buy that'll go around the other half, and that'll be the belt half. But for the pleated end, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut anything from the pants. I got this blue fabric, and I'm going to just make pleated panels and then hand sew them on. Kind of like what I did with her jacket. But, unlike with her jacket, I'm actually going to pattern first. So I'm taking this wax paper and I'm going to measure it the right width, and then I'm going to find out, and then I'm going to pleat the wax papers until I have the right amount of pleats, so that I'll have like a pattern, so that I'm not just making a pleated section and then finding out, oh, I didn't make it long enough and now I'm gonna have a gap. No gaps. No gaps. So, look at how nicely it matches up. Oh! I still have to sew it. I'm going to sew down this edge. Ow. And this edge up here. And then I'm going to press it. And then I might sew down the pleats all the way down, just for added detail and also to keep them from flipping up. But yeah, the whole rectangle is hemmed already. I just did a quick lazy hem because this part is going to be encased against the pant leg when I hand sew the panel on. So this one's all pleated. I have to pleat the other panel and then I'm going to sew it. So this is for the band that goes around the pants. It's a 2-inch wide strip. I'm going to fold it and sew it down to make it 1 inch. Put it around my leggy. And then this goes around the other half of the leg, right at the top part of the pleated panel. So I kind of like forgot to record more about the pants. Whoopsies. But yeah, they're done. The pants are done. The blues don't match exactly, but it's not super visible when it's on, because with all the varying shades of colors in Jyn's outfit as a whole, it kind of like tricks the eye. So I'm happy with it. Here is her leg belts, which are just hand sewn on. Like, this isn't functional. I sewed it like with very secure, kind of ugly stitches so that it doesn't move. It's just for looks. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with the pants. Like, I think I'm out of everything I've made for this costume so far, I'm the most happy with these pants. And here is, it's gotten real wrinkly, but here is the shirt. I think the sleeves are longer than they're supposed to be, but that's fine. This is still a little higher up than I think it's supposed to be, but it's much better than it was before. I attached the collar piece, not according to the instructions. The instructions in the Simplicity booklet that came with this pattern are very unclear, very awful, so I just did it my way, which was just slipping the piece in and stitching around it, instead of like this weird finessing way that they wanted me to do it, where it's like you sewed it on inside out. It was not clear. So this is the shirt. I'm very happy with it. The only like issues that are really there is when I went to cut the shirt out, I didn't have enough fabric to cut without some of it getting this. So I've mostly been able to keep all the uneven dyeing to the back parts of the shirt, so they're not going to be super visible, plus like most of it will be covered up with the jacket and the vest, so it's not super visible. I just know it's there. So that's the shirt. I'm like so incredibly happy to have it because it really brings the whole look together. So, as you can see, I finally have something to show. Third time's the charm. The shirt is finally done. The pattern I bought gave me, pretty much the result I wanted. However, the instructions are god-awful. But it doesn't matter, because I won. I have a shirt. A hand-dyed, handmade Jyn Erso shirt.